Speaking of kind of the face swaps, cutting into Marvel, there's a movie we saw this last night actually, and a lot of people are gonna. By the time you watch this, you've already have probably seen it. But Black Widow, give us your thoughts on the movie while I grab some of these figures.
Yeah, the movie ended up a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I've heard people talking trash. They were bitching and whining about Taskmaster, or they just didn't understand why this movie was coming out now after we saw the fate of Black Widow at the end of Avengers Endgame. But it was just a lot of fun. Florence Pugh, shout out to her. She is great as Yelena Belova.
My
Um,
favorite, my
yeah,
favorite in the movie, Elena. I mean,
this,
Scarlett held her own, held the whole movie. You know, she proved that she can carry a movie just like Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth and Robert Downey.
mhm.
But dude, Elena was the shit.
Yeah, she was awesome, and I can't wait to see what happens next to her character. Shout out to David Harbour as Red Guardian. Shout out to Rachel Weisz as Melina.
Yep.
And long story short, yeah, it was just a fun time in the movies. It's great to be back in the movies, and yeah, if you had your chance to get all of those figures, and I think that's why Hasbro is so married to the idea of having entertainment and media in conjunction with these figures because it helps sell them. It creates a connection and it creates an emotional resonance that leads to people increasing their collection and buying these figures. And if you don't have that, then it's only like diehards who just really like the characters as they are in the comic books or animated series. So it's hard to move those. A lot of these figures we got on clearance, half off, that kind of stuff, right? And
Right.
now it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for people to get Taskmaster. It's going to be hard for people to get that Red Guardian Melina 2 pack. It's going to be hard for people to get these figures. So I'm never bet against Marvel. Like if you see it, you want it, get it.
Right. So that could be what happens with the Shang-Chi because I saw the trailer before Black Widow, and that trailer to me was of all the movies I saw, that was the best trailer. So yeah, if you're all their peg warmers or whatever, but if they start getting on clearance, you grab them quick because otherwise they might be going real fast if that movie
Mm-hmm.
ends up as good as this one. But I just wanted to show you guys this one because I did some swaps.
Yeah, yeah, real nice.
Show your package of the show your package, big man.
Question. What? Are we not saying phrasing anymore? Which, that's fine, whatever, but if we're doing a new thing and nobody told me, that I'd have a problem with.
Hey man, hey,
Hey
you're gonna
now.
you're gonna demonetize us. Yeah. So once again, like I got a bunch of these. And I'll be honest, I got these for customs for modifying them. I'm basically gonna use this as a base for either Arctic Baroness or female Cobra Troopers. But
Good.
tons of accessories, guns, hands, these blasts. Hey, let's show off the Hasbro stands that came off with them. So
Oh
you
yeah.
did something real interesting with yours. Let's see yours.
So shout out to our Mr. Power Ranger himself, Dave Story. Sorry, K Wish, I had to take the blast effect back from you. I know I gave it to you, but after seeing this, man, I needed to do. Everyone knows Boba Fett is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had to take that blast effect back and make
That's
this
a sweet flex. Yeah.
absolutely tremendous.
I'll see your Boba Fett and I'll raise you T'Challa, the Black Panther. So
So
yeah, it's a lot of fun, these Hasbro stands and the way that the figures plug into the base. You can add in even more effects, make it look crazy, right? It's like it's great. I'm a big fan of the Hasbro stands. And you can still get a 3 pack on Hasbro Pulse, stick them in your cart. You don't have premium, add a pack, get that free shipping. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and
yeah.
if you're wondering why this Boba Fett wasn't one of my figures of the year, look at that. Look at the helmet. It's warped.
No, you gotta heat it up. You gotta
Yeah, you
use
got to
either a
heat
heat
it up. I
gun or
shouldn't have to heat up figures I spend $35 for.
no, you shouldn't. But if you want it to look right,
But
you can
yeah,
go
I'm gonna
ahead
have
and
to
leave it
heat the
there.
helmet up. So otherwise, this would have been on my Star Wars list. And then also it's a little dated because we want the Mandalorian one, right? So to have this one come out, it's kind of
Yeah,
the timing
they're
is
probably
off.
saving that for Book of Boba Fett. You're probably going to
Yeah.
be able to get that and Fennec Shand and everything else
Yep.
by early 2022. So
Yeah, no question. So just before we get into our list for Marvel Legends, of course, there's going to be a Fan First Friday. So that'll be our next show. We already know what we're doing. So we've been waiting for this thing for because, Dan and company have been kind of like, oh, it's going to be a lot of Marvel stuff. And there has been reveals, but we're still waiting on those pre-orders. So yeah, now we're going to finally get Fan First Friday, that's next week, next Friday. So we'll be back for a recap show. Don't miss it. And of course, they revealed Spider-Man No Way Home. We'll talk about all that next week because it's probably going to be out for pre-order. So there's no sense going over all that now. More PulseCon exclusives though, just in case you're not able to get them on this Friday, and I'm assuming you won't be. It's to be too early. There's a vintage carded Venom. That's 3150. That's kind of like the other Spider-Man animated series figures you saw, the retro card. That'll be the one I get. And then for those MODOK fans, the ones enjoying the show, there's a World Domination Tour, $74. It's a rock and roll design. Also includes the captain. So a lot of people are. It's a polarizing figure. You either love it or hate it. But it's a PulseCon exclusive. KJ, do you have 5 or 3 for your Marvel Legends list?
I really am doing it by wave, but I have one figure that really takes the top for me. It's very close to me. This is kind of a clue. Let's put it that way. And then just a shout out to the whole wave. So, all right. So let's go ahead and get right into it.
I said Captain Britain.
Oh, Captain Britain. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So anyway,
I'm going to get right into it. I'm getting right into it.
Go ahead.
Here is Captain America, Sam Wilson. I've been waiting for Sam Wilson to become Captain America for a while. I wasn't sure it was going to happen. So when I saw him get handed the shield at the end of Endgame, I was like, this is fantastic. Like, I was already an awesome, impossibly great movie for me. And then that moment happens. That's how they end that movie. So I'm like, I love this movie. Like, I've probably seen that movie like 3 dozen times at this point. So even though I have marks against the wave that this came from, just the way that it's put together, the articulation of the wings and everything else, the comic book accurate suit, it means a lot to me as a comic book fan. So this is my top Marvel Legends figure right here.
Great. And then I'm going to counter that and not say that one in particular, but that whole wave to me is among the worst figures of the year, period. Not necessarily that one, but the fact that we couldn't just buy that Captain America. We had to buy all of them just to get pieces of wings for one figure. We had to chase him back for another figure's cool, but chase him back for the main figure of the line for wing parts is kind of questionable. And then there's a whole lot wrong with this bad boy. I got it because there's only one other villain in the wave, and I don't want them all to gang up on Zemo, but I don't have a Walker. I rather prefer this one than the Walmart wave. But yeah, there's a lot going on wrong with it, with the design. I mean,
yeah. Let's go ahead and get this out of our system. So you got that, and that was smart of you to put that on the Stealth Gamerverse cap. This right here is one of the most inaccurate figures that Hasbro has put out. The coloring's in the wrong place. The black stripe should be red. The red stripe should be white. There shouldn't be this A on the helmet. Even looking at the holster is molded. And like that, I have a sticking point with that because even with something like Marvel's Paladin, like you have a holster where you can actually put a sidearm in it and you don't have that same problem. Like you can actually take the gun out and then put the gun in. So it wouldn't have been that difficult to have added it to the US agent.
Actually, you know what? I think I got dinged. This is the figure I got.
Whoa, okay, so they fig swapped you, bro.
I got fig swapped.
You got fig swapped. Yeah, but I still prefer that. I still prefer that to this. So if you're still gonna get they got you, bro.
They got me.
But if you're gonna get the Walmart cap, because what they did was they took the Walmart fig and they kept the same tooling. You can even see like the hole in the back, but he doesn't have a shield. So I actually had to add the shield from the Secret War Captain America.
Oh my goodness! I got fig swap, dude. My first time ever.
This is real time.
I'm gonna have to talk to K-Wish on this. I think he picked it up for me.
Yeah. Hopefully you still got the receipt because it's supposed to be like this. So
yeah,
you gotta.
I mean, at least yours has the red accents. This is
no, but I'm gonna paint this. I'm gonna do this over and I'm gonna customize it so that it actually looks like the screen costume. I'm gonna paint over the A on this. Yeah. So yeah, that's just even more points against it. It's like, shame on you swappers out there. That's the worst.
I
Scalping
got
is
big
one thing.
swapped.
Yeah.
Like Liz is like, I got punked on live on air.
I thought you had done a kit
I'm
bash.
sweating, dude. I'm sweating. I'm like, I
I,
can't believe that happened.
I thought that you had taken the head and put
No,
it
I
on the
didn't do a
stuff,
damn thing. I'm gonna have
put it
to.
on the
Wow, this is
Gamiverse. Yeah.
unbelievable.
It's rough out there, man. Cats are swapping everything left and right. They're getting
This is
nasty with it.
unbelievable.
Motu, McFarlane, it's nasty out there, man.
Now it's
Like,
really the worst figures of the year, and
know your figures.
hardly any of these figures come with any guns or parts. Like
It's bare bones.
Winter
Yeah.
Soldier came with nothing. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I had to add weapons to all of those figures. I had to give
Yeah.
them guns. Sam Wilson, the Captain America, doesn't have fists. So I'm gonna take one of US agent's fists and then paint it, silver and red. So Sam Wilson can actually punch someone in the
Oh
face.
my goodness.
So they really cheaped out on a lot of this stuff. And yes, making you buy 7 figures. At first it was $19.99, then they upped the price to $22.99. Right?
Yeah.
So now, like, if you didn't get it in time, you're gonna spend an extra $21 trying to build this figure. So it's like this is gonna be one of the last times I buy a full wave.
Yeah, crazy. So I mean, yeah, while we're on it, my 4 and 5, I should say, we got Zemo and Scarlet here, and these are the 2 best to me.
All right.
Yeah, I really like Falcon Cap, but the fact I had to buy every single one to get the wings kind of irked me.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, a lot of people.
But yeah, these 2 at least came with stuff. Now you had a problem with the Scarlet. You wanted more facial looks because her face is really excellent.
Yeah. So for example, if you get SH Figure Arts, you're gonna get extra head sculpts. You're gonna get extra hands, extra effects, and with Hasbro, you get this static expression that has to stand for everything. It really prevents a lot of different looks if you're going to use Marvel Legends in photos and dioramas. So getting those extra heads, they go a long way, so they're not just looking like they're constipated all the time.
All right. Well, it's a good looking face scan though. They're really
yeah. The sculpts are always great, but it's just if they just give you the extra head. So like with Baron Zemo, they give you the extra hood head. By the way, don't peel that mask cloth off because it's nightmare fuel. There's nothing underneath that.
Yeah, and they did a great job with this figure as far as like his costume and his face sculpt. So Baron's looking pretty great.
Yeah, have him do the Zemo dance at a Madripoor, hit the clubs.
So those are good ones. But what's your list looking like now?
Well, I mean, just to really get it all out efficiently. Big ups to the Shang-Chi wave. Every last one of those figures have extra hands, extra accessories. They're very well balanced. I did a one-legged pose with Xia Ling earlier. It's amazing. There's Death Dealer, and you see like the different dynamic effects he has with that. Now, although the sculpt of that clothing is great, it does inhibit the posability, but just style points, like I'll still give it to them. And I have to say, I'm a big fan of the Build-A-Figure that comes with the Shang-Chi wave. So here's Mr. Hyde. And once I saw it, I was like, all right, let's go ahead. Let's get this sucker, right? And the thing is, when you don't have product associated with media because of the COVID and because of the movies being delayed, it's sitting there on pegs, sitting there on shelves. So a lot of stuff got clearance. I got Katie for half off, but no Build-A-Piece figure with her. But still, with everything else, I was able to save money on hologram Iron Man. I was able to save money on Civil Warrior. There was a sale that was going on at Target when they were competing with Prime Day on Amazon. So I got this whole wave for $85. It was amazing. So it was like I had to pull the trigger, and I'm a big fan of this Build-A-Figure and of the Shang-Chi wave as a whole. Shout out to Simu Liu. Shout out to Tony Leung. That film, I can't wait for it. We were just talking about that trailer. The first trailer did not impress a lot of people, but they didn't have a lot of the effects ready. Then they put in that abomination. They put in the different effects with the rings. When you see what they can actually do, it's like this film's going to be ferocious. So good luck trying to get those figs now. Or like if you can get them, get them on sale if you can. If not, get them anyway. It's going to be a fun movie, and you may want to add this to your MCU collection while you still have the chance.
Absolutely. Just want to give a shout out. This is actually not mine. Took it from K Wish. But look at that gorgeous Lady Deathstrike If I see one in the store, I'm gonna grab one for myself. But since he's got one, we kind of haven't. I haven't grabbed it yet. But yeah, that's an amazing. It's almost like a classic retro vintage looking face sculpt. And yeah, I mean Wolverine always there's 62 Wolverines to buy out there. Always need more enemies. So yeah, this is the best Marvel Legends figure I don't have currently. And yeah, of course, Death Dealer is it right. And you got is that it for you with Marvel Legends? Because I got one more.
I have a worse stuff, so you can go ahead and do yours. I was just gonna I'm saving up a lot on my worst stuff. But I will say this,
Yeah.
Hasbro, they have a lot of figures with new tooling. So like there's a lot of stuff that they can't reuse or they haven't reused yet. So that's why we're seeing a lot of figures that don't have guns, don't have hands, that kind of stuff, because
Yeah.
they have a ton of figures out there that are brand new, and that's expensive to do.
Makes sense. I mean, I just got one more, and yeah, it's this one. It's I'm
Mhm.
in love with this thing. I'm in love with Jennifer Walters as She-Hulk. Of course, the prior one was gray. I didn't wasn't collecting the line at the time. I did have a She-Hulk from Marvel Universe, so I canned all those, and now I'm all full on Marvel Legends, and here we go. This is
That's beautiful.
the additional. These usually you get when you get an additional face sculpt, one looks good. I can't decide, man. They're just look at that.
Yeah.
They're
Yep.
amazing. That's just it makes you want like another one just to use them both because
And that's value. And that's why they need to be including extra heads with all of these figures. Like you would sell so much more product. But you play it cheap, then you're only going to get that small diehard fan base that's going to get those figures. People like me that's willing to spend 150 bucks because they
right.
have to have an articulated wingsuit Sam Wilson. Um,
No question. All right, go
and
ahead.
I had to wait until November to get mine. So like if you're gonna get it, know thyself, know what you want and get it. Because my She-Hulk's not coming until basically till the end of the year. But my worst stuff, like I said, that Disney Plus wave is like I was pissed that I had to spend that much money on a full wave just to get one figure that should have been a deluxe release that should have been $39.99. I was really thrilled about getting the Spider-Verse wave. That was the first time I bought a full wave of Marvel Legends, getting Stiltman, loved the Spider-Verse movie. So it was like when they did it with Sam Wilson, I trusted the Marvel Legends team. I trusted Hasbro. I thought that US Agent would be screen accurate. I thought he would have a damn holster that I can actually put a sidearm in and take out of it, that they wouldn't just be cheap and just repaint their already Captain America John Walker that they already had tooled up. I thought they would have given the Winter Soldier, who has guns falling out of his ass from Winter Soldier to Civil War and everything else, and they gave him none. They gave him fists, and they gave nearly every character in this wave fists except for the center character, Captain America, Sam Wilson.
It was a hot
So
mess. It was rushed. Yeah.
yeah, so I take it as a betrayal of trust, and between this and Shang-Chi, this will probably be the last time I commit to a full wave off jump.